Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Welcome to another video. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It is super helpful. Really special video today. I'm joined by Metal Jesus Rocks, John Riggs, John Hancock, and 3 surprise content creators in this video to discuss their favorite NES game of all time. Now, some of these picks I agree with, some I don't, and at the end of the video, I will discuss my favorite NES game of all time, at least today. That can change periodically, but I love this game, and I've spoken about this game before. It's amazing. As a 1-player game and a 2-player game, it's absolutely incredible. So let's get to it, and be sure to let me know in the comments what's your favorite NES game of all time. Hey guys, it is day 3 of Game On Expo, and we're absolutely exhausted, but we're having a great time. The Immortal John Hancock.
Hey, always a pleasure to be on your channel, Brett.
Thanks, John. So, John, first of all, and we'll get to this in just a second, then why am I saying first of all? I don't know. But anyway, are you truly immortal?
I am. I'm in my own video games. They'll last forever.
Right. And what is your favorite NES game of all time?
I have to go with ice hockey.
Ice hockey?
It's like a classic. To me, anybody can get into that. Like, Nintendo really nailed it. And it's not that it's like to me, you're either Blades of Steel or ice hockey.
I'm Team Blades of Steel.
Yeah, so I'm Team ice hockey because Nintendo took ice hockey and made it a fun video game. Is it realistic? Hell no. But they took kind of the Pong aspect and really made it a truly fantastic game. It's cheap, you can still get it anywhere. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love ice hockey. It's so much fun to play.
Well, when people say you can't retro game on the cheap, you can actually find a lot of really fun titles for cheap, even the physical games. And yeah, ice hockey is a great example of that.
I love it.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, John. Where can people find you? I know if you're subscribed to my channel, you're probably already subscribed to John's, but let us know anyway.
Yeah, at John Hancock Retro on YouTube. I'm mostly there. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. You can find me. Look for my smile and my hat.
All right, John. Thanks a lot, man. Guys, I was lucky enough to run into Smash JT at Game On. So the question of the day is, are you really smashing? Which we'll get to in a second. But first, what is your favorite NES game of all time and why?
Maniac Mansion.
Maniac Mansion, why?
Because it was just so unique for the time. And nobody really talked about it or played it. And I remember thinking, this is the peak of gaming. The storytelling, the freedom, the being able to go back and forth on the screen and the screen scrolling with you. It's amazing. It blew my mind.
Yeah, it definitely seemed ahead of its time. I do remember some print advertising for it. So it had a little bit of a backing from the publisher, but yeah, it's kind of
I remember when I rented it, on the back of the box, it was talking about how there's a Maniac Mansion TV show.
Right.
And it was every Wednesday on Family Channel or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but when? And I could never find it. My whole life, I always wanted to watch it. And then YouTube finally was a way where I watched the episodes and I'm like, they have nothing to do with the game at all. It's terrible.
So it's a disappointment.
Very big disappointment. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Smash. Now, guys, if you don't know, Smash's channel has blown up, so you're probably already subscribed. But if not, go to Smash TV. Not Smash TV. Go to Smash JT.
Not to be confused with the arcade game of Smash TV.
Right.
Smash JT.
Go to Smash JT on YouTube, and I will definitely put a link to his channel. Thanks, Smash. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And I am smashing.
Oh, oh yeah. What makes you so smashing? I almost forgot.
I don't know.
Hey. Hey, that good enough. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So fortunate enough to run into Metal Jesus Rocks here at Game On Expo. And so we're going to find out what his favorite NES game is of all time and if he truly rocks. Hey, Jason, what's up?
What's up, dude? So my favorite NES game by far is Excitebike. I had a motorcycle as a kid. I've always loved to drive fast and go fast on the trails, stuff like that. And I played it in the arcade, and then when it came out on the NES, I was like, it was so close to it. It was like, I was obsessed with that game. I still am. If I plug, if I have my NES set up and plugged in, I will play that game first. I love it.
Now, do you build your own tracks too, or just play the...
No, it's funny because I can get pretty far in the game, but there's already enough challenge in that game. I don't need to build my own.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so it's, and and you're asking me if I rock. Well, dude, I'm wearing a rock t-shirt.
Yeah.
So I think that does qualify me.
Right. Do you play any instruments or anything, or you just listen?
Yeah, I do. So
okay.
I started on drums, and then I play guitar. So
excellent.
And I've been in a band for 25 years, I think, so something like that. So
That is awesome. Well,
Yeah.
you do indeed rock. And man, Excitebike was definitely one of my favorite early NES black box titles. Just phenomenal.
yeah, yeah.
The jumps were insane, and it was
Oh,
just
yeah.
so much fun.
Oh yeah, there's no other motorcycle game quite like it. The
Yeah.
way you take those jumps and stuff like that. You have the pads that cool off your engine and stuff like that. It's great.
Just a fantastic game. Just another brilliant invention by Nintendo. And
Absolutely.
when I was a kid, my brother had a motorcycle, so I'd ride with him. So yeah, I think that probably plays a role too.
Cool.
All right, man. We'll have fun at the show. Appreciate it.
on.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're at Game On Expo once again. It's awesome
right.
to see John Riggs.
I know. We were right across the booth from you, so
That's right.
We're staring at each other all day. Look at this.
That's it. If you stare at me too long, I'm just starting to get nervous.
Okay. no, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
All right. So, what is your favorite NES game of all time, and what is the one that just is super nostalgic that really resonates with you through the
okay.
years?
Yeah, good questions on both. We get that asked. We guys get asked that a lot at our panels and everything. Be like,
Right.
well, what's your favorite game? Because everyone has one. And it's not. I don't know. I mean, my favorite game of all time for the NES, my go-to answer is Zelda 2: Adventure Link.
Yeah.
Just because when I first played it for the first time ever, back when it came out in 88 or 89, whatever it was.
Right.
It blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, because I love Legend of Zelda, and this
Yeah.
is the new thing, and it's huge, and the map's great. It has everything I love about video games all in the same game. So Zelda 2 is just my go-to answer.
And it didn't kind of freak you out that it was so much different. That was a
No.
feature, not a bug.
It was. I mean, during those days for our time, whenever they came out with a sequel that was completely different, you just kind of went along with it. It was like,
Right.
well, I mean, sure, this is Zelda, this is Zelda 2, just like with Mario and Mario 2.
Yeah.
Kind of similar in a few ways, but they're kind of doing their own thing. So, you know, you think, or even going earlier between Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers.
Yes.
It was just like, but you just went with it.
You rolled with it. Yeah. And Donkey Kong Jr.,
Oh my
Donkey
God,
Kong 3.
Yeah, completely different games, all three of them. But
Yeah.
you're just like, okay, you just kind of went along for the ride. If those came out now, Donkey Kong Jr. to Donkey Kong 3, they're like who's Stanley? You know?
Yeah, you'd have to get on the internet and complain about it.
Well, yeah, we didn't have the internet back then.
But back then, we just had fun with it. Hey, a different game.
you just
Yeah.
everything was more positive back then.
Right. We liked it that way.
To answer your other NES question, I have to say, and it comes up semi-regularly, I promise it really exists. It's a real game, and it's called Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom.
Yes, I'm familiar.
You got that one? It's a text adventure game. Everyone's vegetables, and you're trying to avoid the farmies, which are the humans that are trying to crop the vegetables. As a cucumber, you're looking for the Princess Tomato. And the reason I'm so sentimental about it, I like games like that too. I love Shadowgate, the other ones too. But when I was collecting, I was going for a complete set. It was the one game that eluded me. Couldn't find it in the wild, couldn't find it at game stores. I just couldn't find it, and I didn't want to go to eBay. eBay was a thing. I didn't want to go to eBay.
Sure.
So my girlfriend at the time went to eBay and bought it for me for Christmas. And I was like, okay, she's apparently the one. So then we got married. We've been married 25 years.
Dude, that is a great story. And yeah,
that's the summarized version of the story.
You know it's the right one when they're down with the print.
Yeah, if they're the ones buying the game, like finding the games for me, so I don't have to look for it ever again. Because like every time we'd have to drive all the way to Seattle or Portland hunting for games, and I'd find other games too. But Princess Tomato was on my list. I just couldn't find it anywhere at the time. So
that is awesome.
I'm not married to any part of my collection. I'm not a collector, but I have a collection, and I have no problem getting rid of all of it. But that specific Princess Tomato is what I'll never get rid of.
I've also heard you say you're not a YouTuber, but you do videos on YouTube.
That's right.
So
I'm not a YouTuber. I like show and tell. I just like talking about stuff.
yeah, it's like a friend of mine said. For someone that doesn't collect cards, you sure have a lot of cards.
It's true though. Yeah, you get the mentality of it all, but it's like, I'm not as gung ho as everyone else.
Right, I hear you.
But I'm part of the universe, and I can talk about.
Let's just say you have a life outside of this stuff.
Oh, I try to. It's hard. Sometimes that's hard to as well.
Right.
But yeah,
Right. I hear you, man.
It gets us all together, and it brings us to places like Phoenix for Game On Expo.
Game On Expo, man. It's gonna be a great weekend.
Oh,
Thanks, John, once
Always.
again for appearing on my channel. And again, I know you guys are subscribed to John Riggs already, but if you're not,
Me.
go for it.
All right.
Are you not subscribed to your own channel?
No, I don't think you can subscribe to your own channel. I'll look into that.
Do it from your work computer.
There we go.
See?
Yeah, I can do that.
Get
There
another
we go.
sub.
That's right. Take all
All right.
weekend.
Thanks, John. Great to see you again.
All right, take care.
All right, guys, we got Rob McCallum here, director of many video game documentaries. What's up, Rob?
I'm having a good time. You caught me before the show opens. It's the most exciting time to be here. But what do you want from me? Why are you stopping me from game hunting and interviewing these people?
Because you were doing that to me yesterday.
That's fair, that's fair. What goes around comes around.
All right, Rob, I got to ask you, since you wrote the foreword to one of my NES Omnibus books,
True.
what is your favorite NES game of all time?
That's an unfair question. I mean, the fact that you have so many listed in your book, in your top 10 books, your top million books of games. Short answer is DuckTales or Final Fantasy.
All right, you had to pick one. Desert Island.
I don't want to pick.
All right, so what do you love so much about
Final Fantasy? Final Fantasy.
Okay.
I'm going that. Final answer, Final Fantasy.
All right, so what do you love about DuckTales so much? I'm going to skip right past Final Fantasy.
Sure. DuckTales is just a fun action platformer. There's tons of secret areas to explore. It's an example of IP used really well in a video game. It translates and it still holds up to this day.
Big fan myself. What do you love about Final Fantasy that maybe people don't think of with the game? Like what's something unusual about it?
With Final Fantasy, it's really just about storytelling. It was the first game that got me into realizing video games isn't a high score challenge, that you can actually follow along in a narrative,
right?
Be emotionally invested in the characters and the outcome.
Definitely an early example of that. All right, Rob, where can people find you?
You can find me at n64quest.com. That's the easiest place. And you can check out our new 14-episode docu-series on everything Nintendo and Nintendo 64 there. Reach out!
Yes, which I'm in, guys, so you got to check it out. All right, thanks, Rob.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, here we are with my new friend, Heather.
Hi.
Yeah, so nice to see you out here again today. We had some great dinner last night. It was a ton of fun. All right, Heather, in a second, we will talk to you about what you do. You're heavily into retro gaming, but first, what is your favorite NES game of all time and why?
All time, it's going to be Final Fantasy.
Great choice.
Yes. So the reason why is because I didn't grow up with a Nintendo system. My friend had it, and I would just go over to their house all the time. And that is the one that nobody else was interested in playing. So I would just stay inside when they all went outside to play.
Right.
And I just played that game by myself, and it made my love for Final Fantasy just grow from there.
You were that kid.
I was that kid. I was, yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So you were like hardcore gamer, but you also have a creative outlet through gaming. Now, what do you do exactly?
So I'm actually saving broken controllers and consoles from their end of life, the garbage. I don't want them to get thrown out. If they look like they're in good condition, I actually deconstruct them and make shadow box artwork out of them.
That sounds incredibly cool. Guys, I will put a link to your... So actually just tell us where we can find us and where we can find you, and I'll also put a link.
Okay, sure. It's on Instagram for now. I'm working on a website, but it's not live yet. Instagram is pixel_parts.
All right, sounds great, Heather. Thank you so much, and enjoy Game On Expo. All right, guys, let me know what you think of these picks and my pick, the original Mario Brothers, based on the 1983 arcade classic. It's a great one-player game as you try to progress as far as you can go, but it's an even better two-player game when you're sabotaging your friend or foe. It's just an excellent game. Mario versus Luigi, love it. And I had a chance to write about this game for the latest issue of Old School Gamer magazine. So I will put a link to Old School Gamer in this video if you want to check that out. But anyway, guys, be sure and let me know what your favorite NES game of all time, and let me know what you think of these picks, like Ice Hockey by Hancock, Excitebike by Metal Jesus, on and on. Let me know what you think of these picks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thank you for subscribing. We'll talk to you in another video. If you're a fan of my work, you might want to consider supporting me on Patreon. For just a low fee each month, you get a lot of extra content. Another way to support the channel and my writing career is to buy books direct from me, including the 100 Greatest Console Video Games, the Classic Home Video Game Series. It's like an encyclopedia set. And this massive bad boy, the NES Omnibus Volume 1 A through L. I will put links in the description of this video where you can buy books direct from me and where you can support me on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.